right, Van Stone here, Van Stone, Philadelphia. Welcome everyone to WVSR 1360. Of course, this is the special program we have, which is a offshoot of all our other programs, the Van Stone brand. You're paying attention here to the Reading Captains show, which is special, with, of course, my co-host Dorian Harris from the Reading Captains regional leader. And today we also have someone else here who's going to be a special guest, hopefully, who will come on this show on the regular. And then she won't have to be a guest. She can also be a co-host. So we have Melissa Toby. Is that Toby? Melissa
Hmm.
Toby?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So welcome to the show. Let me just say this for all our viewers and listeners. I'm pretty much the announcements guy. So we like to just say to all our Philadelphians, especially our Black Philadelphians, welcome to the show. We hope that everyone is doing well and that we are setting these things up for you to let you know that we care. We know what's happening, whether it's good times or bad. And right now, we know that in Philly, we're about to face a bad time coming into 2026. So building up these platforms with our brand, you can find us on YouTube, Vance on YouTube. You can find us with Kevin Tones Dowdy on YouTube. You can find us on Philly Funk Radio, YouTube. We also have Facebook platforms. We're also on Spotify. And we have a bunch of professional, I'm going to say teams, who are really a part of all of the things that we do. So there's just so many to mention today. Sometimes we have our leaders of those organizations and programs with us. But today we have the one and only Mr. Dorian Harris. And I'm going to start out with you, Dorian, because there was something great that happened today. Not today, this week. We covered the news this week with some of the things that you do. Can you tell us about the event? We'll start out that way that happened in the park in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Van, for having me again. Yes, so we actually, the Net Community Care, which is Core 7, we had a man cave queen hive out at Man the Playground. So this was the day and we actually had the youth there. So we actually had our summer youth workers there, where we had a nice little, doing activities, playing games, had some food, and having a great conversation, just having a mixer where we can bring both of these entities together out in the park.
Oh, wow. That was really exciting. I know I sent a couple of our reporters out there. We have a few interviews that did involve you. And we ran that already, because we cover online news as well. So we're Philadelphia front page news, just for all our listening viewers who are not familiar with the Van Stone brand. We have our own magazine, our own newspaper, and we have, of course, over 300,000 listeners and viewers. So with that in mind, if you want to find our Philadelphia front page news, you can just Google Philadelphia front page news, or you can go to fpnnews.org and you can check out all of the things where you can, constantly get the radio and television combination. All right, that program that you did with the Man Cave and the Queen High, was that the first combination this year in Philadelphia?
Yes, that's our first. Yes, this is our first initiative that we brought both entities together.
Okay, just give me a little more about what happened with the excitement, because I know the weather was really hot. We're going through this really crazy temperature, 107 degrees it feels like lately, but still being out in the park and being able to bring the men and the women together, we service. What else happened or what took place that was really, worthwhile
I mean,
being there?
as you say, it was very super hot out there. It's a good thing it was at the playground, the recreation center. They had a water sprinkler out there. So I myself, I got under the water. A couple other people got under the water too to keep cool. But it gives the chance as women and females to sit down, have great conversations, play checkers, play cornhole, play rain toss, and just having playing bingo. So it just gave us that time to interact with one another and just to have that conversation. So this is something we're probably be hosting annually now. Outside of, we do our man cave once every other month and our queen hive once every other month. But now with this initiative, we ain't gonna say probably, we will move forward by doing this annually, moving forward. And just knowing that at times we can change the seasons, like it don't have to be in the summertime, right? It
Right.
could be, going into next year, it could be January, February, or March, where we can have a nice location, indoor venue, still be able to host some activities and to still mix and mingle at the same time.
That sounds good. And, the fact that we are professional radio, we are going to talk a little bit about that later, how we're going to do some support things with our professionals and music artists and so forth that we talked about offline, how we can build this up, continue with mental health and so forth and social, and all kind of things that need to really go on to be positive with the adults, male and female. All right, let's jump into this reading captains. I'm a reading captain most recently. We've got some other men. We'll have a goal going into trying to get 100 men coming in, but we also need more women coming to the reading captains. Now, that is my segue to really going over to our special guest, Miss Melissa. How are you today? Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you would like Philadelphians to know about yourself, what you do.
So I've been a reading captain, what now, 4 years, Dorian? Um, I've been working with Dorian now for over 14 years. So first of all, I'm a mom. I'm a mom to 5 children, but I consider all the kids mine. I have a grandson who is going on 4. He has autism, who I homeschool. My youngest daughter, who was 14, we're also homeschooling her. I also do a lot of community work. We just developed a family business because we are advocates for neurodivergent as well as families with disabilities. Yesterday, we just came back from Harrisburg, so we are getting the proper training. So as we are educating and supporting ourselves, we're also educating and supporting other families out in the community. We are consultants. We also do the parent cafes. We also do a lot of community connections. Matter of fact, tomorrow we will be with Dorian to work with the school district and giving out book bags and resources and food and assistance to families out in the community at the School of the Future on Parkway. And then in the afternoon, we will be with Doug Payne. He's doing a memory walk down in South Philly at Wilson Park for us who have lost family members who who were murdered from gunfire. So there was a lot that happens in my life besides. I'm a singer and entertainer. With my family, we all are entertainers in some way, shape, or form. My youngest daughter being an actress and an artist, even my grandson being a young artiste at only 3.5, even though he's nonverbal. So we are an active family, and we do a lot of activities and things to do. And we make a lot of families and connections, forever connections.
Okay, so let me go backwards just a little bit, because I believe I met you in person at the regional meeting, which was North Philadelphia there, Broad and Lehigh.
Yes.
We exchanged phone numbers, and I did call you because I do promise to call everyone that I reach out to. So let's let our viewers and listeners understand the area in particular where you're pretty much known. Is it west or southwest or
South Philly mostly. I'm born and raised in South Philly. But when I met Dorian as well as a couple other individuals from the KUAs, I started working on the North Philly side. So that's why I'm a North Philly. Matter of fact, I'm an all region captain because I help and support all the KUAs. I am a national parent leader.
Sure. But let's zero in where we can find you. What is the neighborhood that you're usually in? Is it North Philly right now? Is it South Philly?
I'm in South Philly mostly because we are in a rec center called Wvsr. And
Okay.
that's where we do our autism workshop on Thursdays from 5:30 to 7.
Wow.
Due to weather conflict and the recent strike, we had come out of the rec center because they shut down all those afternoon
Okay.
programs, but we will resume come September.
Wow. Now, that is what I want to zero in because when you said autism, okay, and you're a parent with how many autistic children?
So my daughter, I originally started with my daughter because she has ADHD.
Okay.
So I'm still her advocate and parent who supports her. And now we both are co-parents, so we support my grandson.
Okay, but let's get a little more detail about that because see, this is very important. For one, I'm an educator, and most of my viewers and listeners, they know who Van Stone is. So this is not about me today. This is about a partner who I just met, which is you, Melissa, and this is very, very important because when you talk about the autism spectrum, okay, there's different spectrums, and a lot of people don't know that. So when you mention HD, um, give me a little more information so that you have this program, and we need to know why you're really zeroed in on this program when it deals with autism.
Well, the reason why is because it started going on 22 years ago. My daughter was diagnosed with autism. And what ended up happening during that time is it was really just me. I was married, but we divorced. And so I was left home with three children that I had to tend to. But prior to having my youngest daughter, my oldest daughter, some of her milestones were kind of delayed. And when I was asking the teachers and inquiring about different things, I wasn't getting the support. So it was just like, it'll come. Maybe you'll meet somebody who knows somebody. So I would ask questions. I would always be there as an assistant in the classroom, which what people fail to realize is a lot of times with those special classrooms, they don't have enough support teachers that are in there to support the main teacher.
Right.
So when I would come to drop off my daughter, I wouldn't leave. I would stay. I would say, okay, I can give her an hour or so to help support her, to work things out, just for me to properly understand. As time went on, it was like by 1:30, and sometimes we all have to make a determination because we know our children. 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they might not be able to stay a full day when our children are finally diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
So you will have to be at hand to either pick them up or to be a source of support. She decided to, after a while, things were working out, and we decided to move her on to life skills. So there are a lot of different transitions. Sometimes it's not just education, but also them having the proper focus. Sometimes a big classroom with 30 kids is way too much for our children. So we might have to have a smaller structure. That's when they put them in life skills. Life
Okay.
skills then entails them to have a smaller setting, but still have a proper education so that they can get the proper direction. Um, time seemed like it went fast because before we knew it, she had went into middle school, and then by time high school, she had made a complete transition because they wanted to put her into she wanted to put her on medication. They wanted to find other resources and different things to give her. But all I did was pray with her, work with her constantly at home, as well as inside the school. And by the time she got to high school, she was a complete flip. And she said, Mommy, I don't need you anymore.
Wow.
So then from her not needing me, I still was available working inside the schools and being part of the community. And because I had already been and making the connections with the teachers and the schools, that I still helped her. And when I looked up again, she was graduating from high school, even though it was during the pandemic. So she had to
Okay.
then go to school virtually. So now I have all three kids at home doing their education. But I was so excited because her and my son are 2 years apart. So he graduated at 17 and she graduated the following year
Wow.
or so. Even though, like I said, they had to work from the pandemic aspect of school. She didn't get the proper, he had a good graduation, but she didn't get the proper graduation. So it was just maybe like a drive up and
Okay.
then get back in the car and go home and, you party later on. But I was so proud of her because what I felt to say to you was my daughter didn't talk consistently until she was 8.
Okay.
So I had to do a lot of her navigating and working with her, making your own flashcards. So it's a lot of process when it comes up to go in, go in. You educating your child and being part of your child's journey. And this is what we tell our families and parents today, that it's very, very, very important to be part of your child's process, to never stray away from that. And now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, we are now have currently a very rambunctious little boy, Joaquin, my grandson, who is autistic. He is nonverbal. And at first, I didn't think anything was different because I know boys are different than girls, but he is so independent and so sweet and kind. And he is very much teaching me a lot of different things. So compassion is definitely needed, but more importantly, the part of you that you can't buy for your kid that has autism is the love that is extended both ways from them and from you.
Okay, this youngest one. How old is the youngest one?
He will be 4.
Okay.
Him and Jasmine share a birthday. Him and my oldest daughter share a birthday.
All right. So when I first met you, and I'm bringing this back into Dorian, so he's going to be able to pop back in.
Mm-hmm.
What I had suggested for the reading captains, this is why this was so important. I said in a conversation, we know that right now you know, 18 years old, and of course, then you become a reading captain. I had made a great suggestion, which sound good to Dorian. He's here, then he'll be able to come back. We should begin to do brand new categories. You know, let's do reading captains, teenagers. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do reading captain junior. That would be you know, the 12-year-olds and under. Because in both age groups, these kids understand education and they are able to read, even the children who are autistic. Um, yesterday, not yesterday, but this week earlier, we had one of my reporters came out and did a very special assignment at this event, which we talked about happened at 33rd and Diamond. And that's part of our broadcasting unit that we have dealing with special education. So we have a young man who has an autistic spectrum, 22 years old. He's in his last year of college. He went to college for 5 years. This year, he's going to graduate. And I want to throw this back to Dorian and ask you, Dorian, so tell us about the young man that did the interview. How was his presentation to you?
First of all, thank you for sending them out there. You know, because I'm out in the park, and I've seen this young guy, and he's looking around, and I guess he finally connected with you, and then he just happened to know who I was. I guess he said, "Well, this must be the man," because he's the one moving all around and all over the place. No, but it's really, and you know, he's going to go. He's going to go a long way. And I can be first. And first of all, I would never knew that he had the spectrum until you just said something.
Right.
Because he was calm, he was confident, and he was focused. He did what he had to do. He came out and did a nice little interview. Socialized with a couple of people. I made sure he ate and got something cold to drink. But no, that's awesome. That's great. Like I said, I would never
Oh,
knew it if you wouldn't have just
right.
mentioned that.
And
Yeah.
this is why I wanted to talk to Melissa when I first met her, and I tried to reach out. So now we're definitely going to bond. We've got to now, because seeing is believing. And with Melissa's story and the reading captain. So by the way, his name is Tyler McCann. He also has his own television network on YouTube. And this is one of the partners, I'm going to say, with this young man and his broadcasting, that we show so many different things where viewers may not catch the Van Stone brand over here on Facebook. We have 35,000 there. I got 7 Facebook pages, and then it's limited. So, instead of me starting another one, I network and bring these individuals in who have skills and they have their own platforms. And Tyler happened to be one of them. So if you visit his YouTube, it is a Main Event Prime Time YouTube. You can check out his channel. And this is what we're working for. So now with this program, what we can have a discussion, the three of us, Melissa, and of course, Dorian, we could talk about also having reading captains, autism, we'll get a better word for it. Melissa, will lead to you as a parent and a mother who knows it's very important, sensitive how you really present this so that the children and the young adults will understand, yes, they're a little different, but they're not any different in the sense of anybody else. As we can see, we have someone like Tyler. He's also a professional with a camera. We're ready to do photography and so forth and so on. So let me throw it back to you, Melissa. What do you think about that? That we can, create a core where we have more who can really fit with us dealing with the autistic spectrum. What you
I
think?
love it. I love it. It's not enough of it done. So I love it.
Okay. Well, I need you back on that besides just loving it.
You got it. You got it. You
Let me
got it.
say this.
You
So,
got it. No problem. Let me know when.
but no, this is now. We're going to brainstorm
Okay.
talk, and of course we'll talk to Dorian about it as well. But the area that you serve there, South Philadelphia, that is under Council President Kenyatta Johnson.
Yes, it is.
I'm very familiar with that rec center.
Mhm.
We serve the whole city.
Mhm.
Back in the day, and they probably still have it now in that center, they actually had gymnastics.
They
Um,
do.
they still have it?
Yes. They have
Wow.
basketball. They have a football team, the Sharks.
Okay. So that's very, very important that now it's unique that you're there now with your program. What is the name of your program? Let's let our viewers and listeners understand that as well.
It's called, our name is called Building Beautiful Legacy.
Okay.
And it's an autism workshop. And like I said, we consult, we support. We actually ask the families where they want us to meet them at. If I could honestly share, we've left our cards, our business cards on the table, and a lot of the families have picked them up times when we weren't even there, and they'll call us like, "Listen, I just got custody of my son, and I don't know what happened. His mom died, and I'm trying to get." And I told them the main focus is to make a relationship with his son, to sit in with the counselors, to sit in with the doctors, to sit in with his specialists and teachers, to get one-on-one with them so that he can make a leeway to get to know his son. And he said, besides that, he said, what other suggestion would you give me? I said, to find nice places there, the rec center, beside the rec centers where they do have their free sprinklers. You can also take them to the library. You can take them to the Please Touch, and they'll even give you sensory kits if you ask them and tell them that your child has autism. So we have a lot of resources and support. In due time, we want to take my grandson on a cruise. So we're asking about different things. So there's a lot of things, like I said, we're working on our own personal journey, but supporting other families as well.
Okay, so because this is a Black community, Black family concern as well in a large way, we know that in the schools there's special education. I'm not sure how the lower grades are working out at this time when it comes to special ed classes. But I used to work in the schools for a long time in special ed. They had the smaller unit with special education teachers and assistant teachers and 101s based going back to what you said, what your experience was, in a normal classroom setting. If you have the answer for our parents now, do you know anything if they have shaped that here in Philly where there's smaller classrooms based on special education now, or they haven't gotten to that
To
yet?
my knowledge, of a few years back, they rotated them back to the regular classroom. They would just come out at certain times
Oh,
for
wow.
instructional time.
Okay.
But what I can honestly say to you is that um, the like I said, everything's a process. It takes a lot of patience and timing with everything. I know a lot of the education process right now, they're talking about going on a strike. So
Okay.
a lot of the parents would definitely have to buckle down or whatever resources and help that you could possibly get, because we have Zoom now, like we're talking. So if we could possibly have your sessions on Zoom, that's another way of still getting your kid the proper help and support. But like I said, it's still important to make those connections in order for you to give your child the best prospects, even if they do plan on striking. You can at least get type of support.
All right. So what we're going to do, Dorian, yourself, me, we're going to bring this in with the reading captains. We have to do something. We're not going to just talk about it. So with our platform, we're national. We're available for you to do Zoom. at a special date and time to continue whatever happens if there's a strike and or with your program. Because that's really sad. And it's probably a change that they went backwards, where you're telling me now in Philly that don't have the special ed classroom where you have a smaller size. What I can say to you in my experience, what we're doing now with Zoom, guess what? Most of these tools, such as Zoom, was first designed primarily for the autistic spectrum. Because when I was in the classroom teaching, that's what we did. We connected using Zoom way back when you know it was really hard to get the connection and so forth, and you had the big screen and so forth. You know, the screen wasn't as clear and it was blurry. But the kids would gather around in front of a laptop, and basically the teachers would connect to other teachers outside of different schools, and that's how the kids would learn. Okay, so we need to bring that back, especially I want to say when it comes to what's happening at Broad and Lehigh. We know that there's a big screen there where we have used Zoom, where Dorian, does a lot of things with Zoom. So maybe we can talk about either we use our own sites, we get the parents to have Zoom at home, or we can have a presentation where we start doing more of the autistic down at the Broad and Lehigh Center. What do you think about that, Dorian, before I do the last transition? We got like 5 minutes left, but I want to hear
I
your
mean,
thoughts on that for our viewers and listeners.
I mean, I think that would be great. And as Miss Melissa was saying, you know, first of all, she was being modest because the work that she do, it goes way beyond explainable. Come up with all kinds of events. Autism is my superpowers. You know, put these events together as the reading captain. I support her. She's the all city reading captain. But even going back to what you're saying with these younger kids, right? Yes, we always talked about reading ambassadors because I know for sure that peers will lead peers, right? Peers will adhere to their peers. If you got 12 or 13-year-olds and they out here promoting reading, guess what? These kids are going to read. So that's something that we can look at. Like I said, I talked with the people from the free library. They say you have to be 18, but that's what they say, right? But
Right.
you know, we created an initiative and said, "Hey guys, we're pushing this initiative. We want you to be a junior reading ambassador, right? And this is what you need to do. We just want you to engage with kids your age and just push the importance of reading and literacy at the same time. Um, Yes, but as far as us hosting events down at the net, yes, we can put these events together. As Melissa said, me and Melissa, we are National Parent Cafe leader trainers, and actually we're the only two in the state of Pennsylvania that's been trained to do these parent cafes. But we actually train other parents to be table hosts and leaders at the same time. Um, yeah, so we can always build the platform, get parents out, and at certain events, certain initiatives, um, and we have support backing us up, right? Even if we want to tell parents, we want parents to know what's in the understanding an IEP, right? Understanding that individualized evaluation plan, right? We bring people from the school district to do that. I bring people from the school district to do it because that's not my forte of conversation I can have, but I bring in the experts who can better support and lead that initiative. So we do all, like I said, at the net, at Boone Lehigh, we have all kinds of other family engagement workshops, initiatives that we can host and that I can request to utilize the space to host certain engagement
Okay.
initiatives.
Well, thanks to you, Dorian, bringing in Van Stone brand, you really don't have to say much. You set it up. We'll have a meeting. Me and Melissa, we're going to go in there and meet with whoever you need us to meet with. The two of us, that's all it takes. Basically, you have a parent who has years of experience.
Mhm.
You have a parent, none of my children is autistic, but I'm a foster parent, okay? And I have raised many autistic children. So what we want to think about is an autism spectrum cave. I mean, you got the man cave and you got the queen hive. Listen,
Mhm.
we need to do something for this particular group because we know that this group is very, very, very successful. And when it comes to violence, there's a limited number of autism spectrum when it comes to those. So, and yet at the same time, that will be a discussion when we come back next week, because Melissa, I hope that you can get with us. If we have to adjust the time for you, we will. This time at 11:30 is not written in stone. There's some other things we could do. If you have any videos yourself, you can just send them to me. And we will publish them, post them, have it on the radio, because you're talking to the owner right now. So that's why I was trying to reach out to you so that we can get this thing out. And then we're going to, like, the two of us, we need to get a bunch of parents and we're the experts. We
Yes.
don't need anybody else. We can come in and hear our voice and our passion and emotion, and we can validate what we need global citizens or anybody else to do. And I love that area, that little room that I met you in. It's
Mhm.
really comfortable, air conditioner is safe, you have
Yes.
security at the door. It really is a perfect place for the autism community, spectrum community. So I would
Absolutely.
say everything's there. All right, we got like 3 minutes left. Let me go to what you said, entertainment wise. And I'm going to bounce between you and Dorian real quick, because on the last show, so this is our third show, Melissa, this is your first show. So Dorian, he kind of lay in the cut, right? I see he kind of be like, laid back. Then out of nowhere, he just goes and says, hey, I used to be a DJ. All right, so everyone here, part of the radio station, we're professional DJs. So I'm like, okay, we're going to bring that in, make it a little more fun with Dorian. But here, one of the co-hosts who actually operated this broadcasting right now is Kevin Tones Dowdy. We're on his platform, and he's the person who's the producer. He is an artist. He has songs. He does videos. And when you said you sing, so we are not going to let you get away, because we need that. That's what we're looking for. And we want to connect you, if you're willing to,
Okay.
with Kevin Tones Dowdy, so that we can maybe meet here at my center in West Philadelphia, 5037 Walnut Street, the second floor. And we talk, about, let's get into this whole talent that you have. And you said it's not just you, but it's your sisters too?
No, it's my son, my daughters. We all have talent.
All right. So we've got like 1 minute. What do you want to say about your entertainment piece, so that all our listeners and viewers know about you? Because that's the music artist part we want to hear.
So I go by
Sing,
mahogany.
we just want you to tell us a little about your music.
Okay.
That's
So I
all.
go by mahogany blues. I love R&B, and where I got my name from, about the movie Mahogany,
Okay.
Mahogany Blues. So I go by mahogany blues. I go by mahogany blues because blue is also my favorite color. So I love R&B and love. Most of the time, my son and I have currently been performing for the veterans and the police. We also do some community events and things like. But music has always been a passion for me since I was a kid. But once I got married and had kids, I kind of threw that in the back burner. So for the last year, almost two now, I've been singing and performing back outside with everybody. I've recorded in the booth and all of that before, but I'm actually doing something for me now that my kids are grown enough. And like I said, with our community work, I'm definitely trying to integrate more music in it, because that's where my heart comes from.
Okay, so what I need you to do, I throw my number out there anyway. My number for all our viewers and listeners, they know that anyway, is 610-803-1624. Once again, for all my listeners and viewers, and also for you, Melissa, please get my number down, 610-803-1624. What I would like you to do is save, lock me in, and if anytime today, please reach out, give me a call or text me. I need to further this conversation with you. I need to send you some of the music piece that we have a part of this. Because with the
Your
podcast,
last four, please, man.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Your last four.
Oh, 1624.
16,
Yes, the number is
I don't
610.
know where from. I'll definitely reconnect with you today.
Right. Sounds good. And for all our listeners and viewers, this is the main line. It's unusual when you actually get the premier guide and professional national writer and so on and so on. Many of the other stations, you can't get them. You have to reach their assistant and so forth and so on. But I want to say the people that I work with are very humble, just like Dorian is. You can get him if you can catch him, but he will answer that phone personally. So that's why we're different here. And that's why we go so well. And everybody, they love the Van Stone brand, and it's real. It's not phony or fake or whatever. We will connect you with Mr. Kevin Tones Dowdy. That's my partner, and he has a whole big thing when it comes to music going on. All right, Dorian, we've got like 30 seconds left. What would you like to say to us about your DJ experience? Because I'm going to be on you on
I mean, well, that was years ago, but I went by the name of Master T. Like I said, I used to play down at Mom's Place. That was the first black-owned tavern in the city of Philadelphia. I bore its roots, and I, played music for Hal Melvin, all the Philly international people. I really got to meet and got on that platform. But outside of that, I just want to give a shout out to Melissa and her family. She was a little modest, but you can see their acting and what they do as a family. They are on Tubi on a movie called Shattered Reflections. So check out that movie, and you get to see Melissa and her family on there.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. So with my last 30 seconds, guys, we're going to close out the show. This was a great first time. Melissa, we need to have you back. We'll be here every weekend and when we can. We switch times. We may have another podcast tomorrow. So that's how we do, based on our several platforms. And we would love to have you back immediately. We are working on, I think it's going to be a battle of the DJs. Now that we have Van Stone DJ, we've got Jerry Wilson DJ, we've got Kevin Tones DJ, and now we have the DJ, Dorian Harris, will bring in his name. We're gonna put something together because that's what I'm used to doing. I like it to be fun. And what the battle of the DJ is going to be, we're not going to need any turntables or anything. We're going to be on this platform, and we're going to challenge each other with a list of artists and music. For example, if I say Patti LaBelle, what you got for that? This is an example. And then the other DJ will throw something back. And in the end, all the listener viewers will really enjoy that. So that's how we do here too, to make it fun. So hey, Dorian, get your your thing together.
Hey Van, if I say Coke Escovedo, who you gonna throw at me?
Oh, come on, man. I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's no problem.
Okay. All right, and I'm gonna
know?
and I'm gonna come back with Rare Earth.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's how this is gonna be a fun show. And then
Right.
Vanessa, if you want to come in and music, that we'll spread it all around. Okay, guys.
Works for me.
Thank you so much for joining the show today. We're gonna close out as usual. We will see you guys the next time, and stay healthy, stay safe, and of course, Black Philadelphia, stay with us, stay strong.